There's something no one wants to say out loud anymore, so I will. We live in a culture where the body count conversation gets flipped. If a man brings it up, he's labeled as insecure, and if a woman avoids it, she's called empowered.
Yeah,
But here's
facts.
what no one is admitting.
Yeah, but does that actually work? Like, are there actually still grown men in 2025 that hear the phrase, you're insecure, and they go, oh, well, I'm just going to ignore objective reality because she's right? Like, every man who's dealt with women understands that that's the oldest trick in the book. The jig is up. Calling you insecure or telling you what a real man is or what a real man should do is just a manipulation tactic that women use to take advantage of weak men. Women know that any man that is actually secure wouldn't even care if she believes that he's secure or not. So the moment you fall into the, oh, I'm insecure, just let her do whatever she wants to do trope, you're cooked.
Body count still matters.
Absolutely.
It matters because it affects pair bonding. It shapes long-term loyalty. It
Yep.
rewires how she views men, sex, and emotional connection. You don't need a number. You need to listen. Because a woman who slept with a lot of men won't tell you directly. She will never tell you directly. Through casual phrases she's repeated so many times, they sound normal, but they're not. This is why I wrote Attraction Secrets, guys. Not to teach game, not to help you get girls, but to arm you with the psychology to spot patterns, decode female behavior, and take control before you get played. Because
Okay.
once you learn
Olivia
what to listen
Alexa.
for,
Okay.
you turn the whole script on its head. The link is in the description. Now let's get into the 8 phrases women say when they've slept with a lot of men. Number 1, body count is just a number. This is the go-to line when her number is high and her tolerance for judgment is low. She doesn't want to explain it. She doesn't want to own it. She wants to convince you that you shouldn't care. This phrase is a preemptive strike designed to flip the guilt onto you. But if it was really just a number, she wouldn't need to diffuse the topic before it even starts.
Yep.
Think about that. Women instinctively know that a man values exclusivity. A woman who's proud of her choices won't dodge. She dodges because deep down, she knows it changes how you see her. So instead of transparency, she gives you permission to suppress your own standards. Number 2, if men can do it, women can do it too. This is where logic gets weaponized. She's not trying to match energy, she's trying to erase consequence. She wants to sleep around, detach emotion, call it liberation, and still be seen as high quality. But here's the problem. Biology doesn't work like that. When men sleep around, they increase sexual options. When women do it, they decrease how deeply they can bond with a man.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't like that fact. A lot of people get angry, and there's always one woman in the comments that goes, I care about a man's body count too, but we're just talking about in the dating marketplace. Obviously, morally, it's the same if a man is promiscuous versus when a woman is promiscuous. But what we're saying here is when it comes to your ability to date other people, it definitely affects women significantly more than it affects men. Drake ain't missing out on sleeping with any woman that he wants to sleep with because he's already slept with multiple other women. But if you look at a lot of these ex-porn stars or women who have done OnlyFans, they'll tell you that they have a hard time dating because of their past. They want the man that other women like to only like them. And when men sleep with multiple people, it just shows that he has the capability of sleeping with other people, so women like him. And for some women, it is a turnoff, don't get me wrong, but for majority, that's not going to be the make or break. While on the flip side, for most men, if you're sleeping with a lot of dudes, that's going to be the make or break of the relationship. So it definitely is different. We can all be adults. Let's just be adults here and just see objective reality. It's definitely different.
Why? Because men are wired to reproduce. Women are wired to pair bond. The more men she's had, the harder it becomes to connect deeply to any one man.
Yep,
so when
it's
she
true.
uses this phrase, what she's saying is, I want to do what I want to do, and I want you not to care. But if you accept that, you're signing up for a relationship built on male guilt and female entitlement. Number 3, I just like my freedom. This one gets thrown around during the relationship talk. She says she's independent and she's not trying to be controlled. But what she's really saying is, I want your attention and emotional investment without obligation, though.
Yep,
This phrase is
exactly.
non-exclusivity dressed up as independence.
And that's why I always say you should expect reciprocation for any woman that you sacrifice for. Because currently, in the modern times, if a woman can take advantage of you, she will, and other women will cheer her on in her taking advantage of you. And right now, the common way that women will trick men is both people will go to work because the economy is tough, don't get me wrong, but the woman will still expect you to pay for everything, pay for the dates, pay all the bills, and practice chivalry while she prioritizes herself, her own savings, and build a nest egg just in case she has to jump ship. So she wants you to sacrifice your efforts and your labor, and sometimes even help with the domestic labor labor. Oftentimes that's what you're going to find, because when the woman goes to work, she comes home, she don't want to cook, she don't want to clean, so she don't want to do the things that she's supposed to do to contribute to the family and the sacrifices that she's supposed to make, yet she expects you to sacrifice for the family. So whilst you sacrifice everything, she gets to prioritize herself and her own savings just in case she has to jump ship. That's how a lot of guys get caught in the modern era with this. If I pay majority of the bills, I don't care if you go to work too, you're doing majority of the domestic labor because that's your contribution to the family.
She wants to move like she's single while benefiting from your consistency.
Yep.
She's been through enough men to know commitment limits options. So she throws out freedom to keep the door cracked open. But here's the game. She doesn't want to be claimed unless you're better than her past. That's not freedom, that's leverage. And if you go along with it, you're just a placeholder until she upgrades. Number 4, sex doesn't really mean anything to me. This is what a disconnected nervous system sounds like. She's not confident, she's numb. And that numbness didn't start naturally, it was trained. Here's the biology. Every time a woman has sex, her brain releases oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone. When that bonding gets broken over and over again with no emotional return, her system adapts. She detaches, she disconnects, she treats intimacy like a handshake.
She's
because
100%
it's been
right.
meaningless for so long. When she says this, it's not a flex. It's a confession of emotional burnout. She's telling you that she could sleep with a man and not care because she's already done it too many times to still feel anything from it. Number 5, I don't regret anything. I learned from every single experience. This is how she rebrands a reckless past as growth. She turns every ex into a lesson, every hookup into a chapter. And if you buy into it, you'll convince yourself she's wiser because she's had more men. But what she's really doing is laundering her past into something socially acceptable. She's not being honest, she's being strategic. Because if she admitted the real reason she slept with so many men, which would be impulse, attention, boredom, revenge, you will walk away. And she knows that. So she wraps it in a bow and calls it evolution. Number 6, I mean, everyone has a past, but this phrase never gets thrown out unless her past would make you leave. She's not just trying.
If I was beating up on women and then she was asking me about my previous domestic violence cases and I said, everybody has a past, I don't think that she would accept that. The best thing you could do to determine somebody's future is look at their past. A woman and a relationship is going to be the biggest investment that you make in your life. You're literally choosing the woman who's going to raise your daughter. And if you don't want your daughter to be like the woman that you're with, then maybe you shouldn't be with that woman. It's a huge investment men make, and you got to judge a woman's past in order to know where she's probably going in the future. It's not always the case, but every good investor does research on the investment before he makes the investment.
She's testing you. She wants to know, will you ignore it? Will you overlook it?
Exactly.
Will you be the one man who accepts what the other 10 wouldn't?
Are you the sucker?
Reputation management in disguise. She wants the benefit of having a clean slate without having to live like she earned it. And if you accept that phrase without asking questions, she knows she has you. Number 7, I was just having a phase. This one always comes after the damage is done. She's not calling it a mistake. She's calling it a season. The clubbing, the hookups, the tender flings, it's all filed under her past life. Now she's ready to settle down. But what she really means is the options have dried up. This is
exactly. And this is the thing that drives me insane. She didn't see it as a mistake. She's seen it as a season. And it's so weird. Like, if there was any other domain, say if I was addicted to alcohol, if I was addicted to weed, or I was addicted to cigarettes, whatever it may be, if I look back at my past, I would tell people to not do what I did. But older women who go through this quote unquote season, they encourage younger women to also go through the season. And I just think that's so weird. If you did, and it's because they don't see it as a genuine mistake, even in the verbiage that they use when they talk about this quote unquote hoe phase or this season or this journey. If you listen for the right phrases, you'll hear the same thing essentially. I was just getting to know myself. I wanted to find out who I was. All these different things. She's not backpacking the Appalachian Mountains to find out who she is. She's going around and sleeping with men. That's not how you find out who you are. But I just think that it's so weird how even when it comes to older women who go through this quote unquote phase, they incentivize and tell younger women to also go through the same phase, even understanding that it may have damaged them.
It's self-awareness. It's her trying to rebrand herself. She wants the title of wife now that she's already lived like the wild girl. And she wants you to believe you're getting the best version of her when you're really just getting the cleanup version. Number 8, I don't get attached easily. This one sounds chill on the surface. She says it like it's maturity, like she's in control. But the truth is, she's detached because because she's been through too many meaningless experiences. Women are biologically wired to connect through sex. It's a normal, natural thing. So when a woman tells you that she doesn't get attached easily, what she's really saying is, I've had to numb myself because sex hasn't meant anything to me for a long time. If you're looking for something casual, she's perfect. If you're looking for real connection, she can't even access that anymore. So here's the final word. The most dangerous phrases don't sound dangerous at all. They sound normal because repetition hides dysfunction. And most women today have said these phrases enough times that they actually start to believe them. But if you know what to listen for, you will never, ever be misled again. This is why my book, Attraction Secrets, is not optional. It's protection for you.
Olivia Alexa. Great video. I don't know how I didn't know about this content creator before. Let me show the channel. I'm also going to put this in the description and in the pinned comments down below, but she's 100% right. And any man that's dealt with women, 8 phrases women say when they've slept with a lot of men. They expose her. Yeah, and she's right. If you're a man and you dealt with women, you understand when women brother, all you got to do to understand a woman's past is to not be judgmental, and she'll tell you everything you need to hear. You just got to listen and not be blinded by lust and lying to yourself because you want to believe that this woman is something that she's not. Listen to what she's saying, and she'll tell you exactly who she is. But when she tells you who she is, you have to be willing to accept that that's who she is. And if you're willing to deal with that, or if you're willing to deal with some of the things you may hear about her past, then that's okay. I got a weak stomach for a lot of that stuff, so I'm not built like that. But a woman will tell you exactly who she is. If you're just accepting, you're not too judgmental, you let her talk enough, she'll tell you exactly what you need to hear. Let me know in the comments below if this video was a W or L, and give me the HBO special. That's a help brother out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Till next time.